get here to the place of recognition of me, myself, and I. To be myself and I. 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 Questions, yes I have. Trying to make sense of my life, looking through the lenses of my past. I have learned, yes I have. Now I have answers, yes I have. Looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm like you what I see, but it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey to get here. Looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm loving what I see, but it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey to get here to the place of recognition of me, myself and I. To be myself and I. 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 Questions, yes I have. Trying to make sense of my life, looking through the lenses of my past. I have learned, yes I have. Now I have answers, yes I have. Looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm like you what I see, but it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey to get here. Looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm loving what I see, but it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey to get here to the place of recognition of me, myself and I. To be myself and I. 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 Questions, yes I have. Trying to make sense of my life, looking through the lenses of my past. I have learned, yes I have. Now I have answers, yes I have. Looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm like you what I see, but it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey to get here. Looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm loving what I see, but it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey to get here to the place of recognition of me, myself and I. To be myself and I. 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 questions. Yes, I have. Trying to make sense of my life, looking through the lenses of my past. I have learned. Yes, I have. Now I have answers. Yes, I have. Looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm liking what I see, but it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey to get here. Looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm loving what I see, but it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey to get here. To the place of recognition of me, myself, and I. Be myself, and be myself, and be myself, and be myself, and be myself, be myself, and be myself, and be myself, yes, I have. I've got questions. Yes, I have. Trying to make sense of my life, looking through the lenses of my past. I have learned. Yes, I have. Now I have answers. Yes, I have. Looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm liking what I see, but it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey to get here. Looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm loving what I see, but it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey to get here. To the place of recognition of me, myself, and I. Be myself, and 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 be myself, Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. We are on 6:30 a.m. and I want to welcome you to Morning Inspirations. Welcome, 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 welcome. This is an amazing day to be alive, to witness. Today is an amazing day. And what makes today amazing, see, I even dressed up for today because I think today is such an amazing day, is that we are going to make a transition and inaugurate a power pair. A female is going to occupy the seat of vice president. We've got a pair team going here. What do I mean by a pair? We've got two people, right? One's going to be the navigator. One's going to be the driver. But they're coming together, two great minds. We're bringing together the power of creation, in essence, right? We're bringing together hope being transferred this morning and being manifested and being pushed forward as an absolute focus. As an absolute focus. The focus here, when And I've been checking to see exactly what time they're going to do it. Normally it's about noon, but I'm checking to see if it's still going to be noon today. But when these two people come together today, our nation, the USA, is saying we are hopeful again. Now, there may be people who disagree with me on that, but let me tell you why I say there's a focus on hope. For me, as a female, and for every female and every little female girl, we're seeing that here is the diversity and inclusion we have wanted to have. Here is a step. Here we are sitting at the same level. Now, here is a woman who is carrying the most powerful seat, I would like to say, in the world. Some people would disagree with me. But as vice president, what are we saying now for us as women? There's so much hope. We've been included. We've been included at the table. We are belonging at this table, right? We've known we belonged at this table, but look, we belong now. We have been included. What a day of hope that there is. And even though that may not be the frame that you particularly want to use this morning, that's the frame that I choose to use. That's the frame that I choose to put around that. That's my special frame this morning. So this morning when I'm looking and I'm thinking about this and I'm getting excited, I'm like, hey, look at the frame that I have on this moment. It's a frame that I'm choosing. It's a frame that I'm making. And I have now, when I pause, in any given moment in time, when I choose to pause, guess what? Guess what happens in my pause now? I can pause and I can put around now a brand new frame. My frame is it's possible for me to have true inclusion. It's possible for me to be seen as more than just my packaging. It's possible that my granddaughters, right? I have one, but I believe I'm going to have more. Um, my granddaughters are going to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with men, shoulder to shoulder with boys, shoulder to shoulder as peers. Here we see them beginning the momentum of what our tomorrow can look like. It's interesting when you think that we've gone from Martin Luther King's birthday, right, being on Monday, and his dream that there would be equality. He had a focus on tomorrow. That's where his focus was, right? He had a focus on making tomorrow better, where there would be inclusion, right, for all skin packages. And now we see we're giving a message of hope today. There's inclusion, not just for the packaging. There's inclusion now, sexual inclusion on what our genders are. We are equal. We've known it, women. We've known we were equal. We've known we were equal. But look, yes, we are. Here it is. This is a huge day for so many people. And I want to celebrate it with you. And I want to focus in today our frame to just keep framing the frame of hope. So as we go into our gratitude part of the show this morning, when we're pausing for our gratitude, I want to invite you to be grateful for hope. Be grateful for it. Hope is here. We have hope. Let's be grateful for it. It's in front of us. We're seeing it manifested. The focus can be hope. Hope doesn't say I know how it's going to make things happen. Doesn't say we've got the solution, but it says we have hope. Let's go into our meditation and let's be grateful this morning for that hope. We now are in a space where love is evident. We have today two people who love their nation, two people who love their nation this morning, who are coming to the table together to allow us again to be hopeful. We see that there is a focus for hope this morning. I think that's just an amazing, amazing thing. So when I think today about being grateful, today I am grateful that hope exists on the greatest levels of our ruling body. Today I am grateful for hope. Today I am grateful that hard work and intelligence packaged in a female drives the ability for anything to truly be possible. Today I am grateful for that. Today I am grateful that I can see a transition that doesn't incite me with fear, but incites me with hope. Today I'm grateful for those things. What today are you grateful for? What are you grateful for that brings you a sense of exhale this morning? What are those things that you're grateful for? As you know, I say before you even think about doing anything else, before you begin to make declarations of what you would want or see, it's really important that you put out there in front of yourself gratitude. So it's the first thing that drives any thought process. It becomes the first focus of the first minute of every day. Then, when we've released that focus of gratitude, we step into, okay, now what am I going to focus on? What's going to be my intention? Focus is so very, 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 very. If I had something that could just keep going and keep going for you and just keep going to like kind of repeat it on repeat on repeat, focus is critical. Focus is critical because we are in a world that is so complex, where there's so many moving parts. If you don't have a focus, you're easily going to be distracted. You'll be distracted by your own emotions if you don't allow focus to take a hold. It's one of the reasons why I believe, and yes, I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it, guys. I'm about to go scrum on you. So yeah, scrum warning, I'm about to go scrum on you right now, okay? I'm about to pull scrum into the discussion. When you look at the foundation, the core foundation of scrum, right? Those three pillars of empirical process control, transparency, inspection, and adaptation. If we allow ourselves to look at those three pillars and apply them to our everyday living, we allow ourselves to be transparent. Where have we been recently as a nation? Where have we been as individuals? What have we been feeling? What are those emotions that have been coming up? We have to be honest with ourselves. And then we have to take the pause, right? This is where the power pause comes into play. We have to take that pause. And when we take that pause, we have to step back and inspect, not with a sense of critique. Let's not be critical. There's no benefit, no value in being critical, but there's a value in seeing what doesn't serve us anymore, what isn't driving value. And if it isn't driving value for us, then you know what? We can move it out the way and we can make an adaptation. We can just make that next step, right? Do that next thing and do that next thing with confidence. Why are we going to do that next thing with confidence? We can do the next thing with confidence. Why? Because one, we're being grateful. And two, you know what we're activating? We're activating our power of choice. We're choosing to be focused. We're choosing to live a life that consistently is transparent with ourselves first before we can offer that to anybody else.
where we're always inspecting because we're always looking for growth. We're always looking to improve. Because we're always looking to improve, we frame our world with consistent growth, with personal evolution, because we're wanting to see improvements everywhere. We want to see improvements in society. We want to see improvements in our lives, right? Improvements in our very core. We're wanting to evolve and grow. So applying those concepts of transparency, inspection, and adaptation to everyday living is powerful. Just huge. Simple. 3 simple words: transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Framing our thought process, framing our inspection with that makes a huge difference. Because if I inspect with the concept of I'm looking for the next best step, I'm not looking to criticize, I'm not looking to make a big deal about what went wrong, I'm not looking for the labels, I'm looking for the next piece of value. What's the next piece of value that's available to my life, for my team, for my communities, for my family? What is that next step? What is that next move? What is that next thought that allows me to cultivate the next move? That's the power that I think Scrum brings to the table, that takes it out of software. So yes, we're doing it in software, right? Yes, we're applying it to organizational change, but the key is we are asking people to apply it to themselves. Because until a person, and yes, now I'm about to go agile, until a person, an individual, brings this stuff home to themselves, right? So until the individual, you, me, all of us, embrace that concept of being able and desiring to constantly improve, you really don't get a great frame, right? It's not a, you don't get a great frame. Instead, we're framing things that don't serve us. They just don't serve us. So today, as I told you, I'm looking at hope, right? And I want to look at some steps that we can do to allow ourselves to be hopeful. So we can have hope sprinkled in on the frame. Because whenever you create a picture frame, right, guys? The picture frame has kind of like that cardboard or wood backing, right? And then it has the frame that the frame goes on top of that supports the frame. I want to present to you today that when we're thinking about building the frame out, the supports of the frame, we got to have gratitude there, but we got to have hope. Because hope says, even while I'm on the journey to get, to build, to make manifest my end state, I stay hopeful even though it looks like it's not coming. Hope keeps you grounded on the journey. Did you hear what I said? Hope keeps you grounded on the journey. It makes sure you take the next step, the next step, the next step. Because you're hopeful. If you lose hope, you freeze up. You don't want to go any further. You don't want to do anything else. But if you got hope, and your hope is pushing and pushing and pushing, right? Then you're going to get to that value. If you allow hope to be part of your frame and your thinking. So hope is a powerful word, a really powerful word to embrace and live with. Now, you guys know I love Mama Maya, okay? You know I do. And so there is I'm going to try and see if this works, guys. If I can put this banner across. This I thought was a powerful, powerful quote. Now, here's the quote. The quote is, hope and fear can't occupy the same space at the same time. Hope and fear cannot occupy the same space at the same time. When I thought about that this morning, right? When I thought about that this morning, I thought about the concept of light and dark. So the idea is if there's a little bit of light present, then you can't really call the place dark, right? Because it's like this, I'm light. So can you imagine now if we have hope And our hope becomes that beam of light in any situation that we find ourselves in. I mean, you think about 2020, hope, we lost a lot of hope. Business people lost a lot of hope, right? We lost a lot of hope because we came into a situation that we didn't have any reference point to. We weren't sure if we'd still have businesses tomorrow. We weren't sure if we'd still have homes, if we'd still be living tomorrow. There was so much, in essence, anxiety around, oh my God, what's next? I don't know what is or what is possible or if there's any possibilities. But those of us who were able to hold on to hope, hope pushed us through, right? It allowed us to keep going even though we weren't feeling it. And I have to hold my hand up. There was lots of days that just weren't feeling it. Do you know what I mean? But pushed. It pushed me through. It pushed me through. It pushed me through. That concept of hope. Now, one of the reasons I'm so big on affirmations, everybody, is because affirmations allow you to fuel hope. Hope is key. Hope is simply key. It is a key that a lot of times we don't look at, we don't see the value in it, but it is key. Hope is key. Can you imagine if you make sure that in everything you do, there's hope? You put a little sprinkle of it everywhere. So today, yes, I'm going to be in Clubhouse at 7:15. So let me make a little plug for that. I guess I should have a picture that comes across that talks about me being in Clubhouse. I will be in Clubhouse at 7:15 a.m. this morning, and I'm going to be continuing this conversation of hope and really going very deep into affirmations around hope to share. So when a lot of you look and you think, well, I know she's big on this whole affirmation thing, I don't know what the big purpose is. Well, it's because it fuels hope. And if I can put hope into my conscious thinking and think, well, didn't go so good yesterday. Not sure how it's going to be tomorrow. I don't really know. But if I can fuel some hope into that situation, I can keep going even when I'm tired. When the tiredness that I'm talking about is not the physical tiredness. It's the emotional tiredness. When I start to feel weary, I can push forward because hope, this is what hope does. Hope creates a magnifying glass of what I'm hoping the future to be, right? So it takes a magnifying glass on my end state and it magnifies it and brings it in front of my face and says, remember, this is it. This is the reason. This is it. And that's why when you think about having focus and focus being so necessary, right? Focus gives us the picture. Hope gives us the magnification. Affirmations give us the manifestation. Now, you may not believe in that, but I'm a living witness. I'm a living witness that it works. So if we can allow, now let me wrap it and bring it into our corporate spaces. If we can allow the scrum masters, as coaches, as leaders in your spaces, if you can allow there to be a focus, a mainstay focus of where your organization wants to go, so that your teams can then bring that focus into them to enable that to happen. And they can wrap that focus around what they're doing. When they bump into obstacles, impediments, when things don't happen the way they wanted it to happen, they can remain hopeful that they're on a path still to arrive at the focus. Because when they're feeling disheartened, when they want to give up, when they don't feel like innovating because the innovation they're trying isn't working, isn't serving them right now, then guess what? They can push a little further. Because hope can magnify now the focus. This is where we're going. Come on, guys, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. We found out now what we shouldn't be doing. Let's make that next step to find what we could be doing. That's why when we look at the tenets, the practices that are in Scrum, right? Those particular practices of every day, having a planning session, that daily scrum, having a mini planning session every day with the team that's doing the work. Well, the team that begins the work of everyday living is you, yourself, your I, right? Me, myself, and I are the first team, the team of 3 that gets everything going. Then I engage me with somebody else, right? And then I come into a pair. And then I go from being a pair to joining with others, and I become a team. Now, if each individual has come with that aspect now of teaming, and each individual has come now with that aspect of pairing, right? And they've come with, we have got to focus. We've got to focus for change. We've got to focus for something to be different. We've come together with this focus now. And when one of us falls off, oh, I can't. Somebody else can intentionally put hope on the lens and go, look, let me focus this in, right? Let me do a swipe, make this bigger. See, that's where we're going. And we're going there together. That person can go, okay, yeah, you're right. That's the focus. Yeah, okay, yeah. And then if you put an affirmation on that, right? As a team, anything is possible if we all agree. As a team, anything is possible if we all agree. Let me say that again. As a team, anything is possible if we all agree. If that becomes a mantra for your teams, in your organizations, and in your business, and everybody is saying that all the time, the focus will become huge. And before you know it, the focus will be the reality. That's how powerful hope is. That's what it can do for us. But where do we begin to kind of start with that? Like, where do you start it off? Well, there's another quote. And yes, I'm sorry, guys. I'm a Maya Angelou fan. The legacy she's left behind is just, words can't even begin to articulate. And she was such a wordsmith, such an amazing person with words. She said this, and I thought this was interesting. Love recognizes no barriers. Okay? It jumps hurdles. I love that. It leaps fences. It penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope. And I just thought that was like, oh my God, that's just awesome, right? Think about that. Knowing no boundaries. Love knows no boundaries. It doesn't. It's not held back by anything, right? No boundaries. It moves forward, right? And then it jumps. Well, how do we relate this love to what we're doing on an everyday? Well, we're not talking about a love amore for loving somebody else that you want to have as your own. We're not talking about that love. We're talking about loving concepts. We're talking about loving ideals. We're talking about loving a society. We're talking about loving the world. We're coming in and we're saying, my humanity is beautiful. And because my humanity is beautiful, it's beautiful to me. I am going to open up myself with this humanity. I'm going to open up and I'm going to do the things that's going to help my humanity to keep going. Yes. So let me drop this on you, right? Here's the power drop. And I'm going to give you this affirmation this morning because it's real power drop, right? Those of you who are not seeing the live on LinkedIn or Facebook won't be able to see it, but I'm going to say it. Here it is. Today I choose as an act of my will to be grateful and move forward. Yes, I march forward to do my part for true equality, true connection, true collaboration. Yes, I will be a seed for continuous change. Yes, I will be a voice for inclusion. Yes, I will be a voice for justice. And yes, I will be change. That's saying something, right? When that came to me a couple of days ago, I was like, yes, that is it. And I wrote it down. Taking the power of choice to frame a context of focus that says, yes, I will be change. Even if there isn't change, I'm going to be it. And I'm going to be hopeful because I'm hopeful, right? I can move forward because I'm hopeful. I can march even when I don't feel like marching. And I'm not just talking, guys, about a physical marching, okay? I'm not talking about physically marching. I mean, as well as that's awesome. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about physically going ahead and doing the march. I'm talking about marching with actions, marching with thoughts, marching with all the little things that you do. The little things. Because the little things people don't realize, they build momentum. Those little increments. Yeah, gone back to Scrum again. Piece by piece by piece by piece, it adds on. It adds on in money, right? When you think about, you save a little, you add a little bit more, it compounds. Great thoughts and actions compounds. Our thoughts compound to make change possible. And hope keeps fueling it. It gives it oxygen, so it keeps burning bright. So today I choose as an act of my will to be grateful and move forward. Yes, I march forward to do my part for true equality. Yes, I march forward to do my part for true connection. And yes, I march forward to do my part for true collaboration. Yes, I will be a seed for continuous change. Yes, I will be a voice for inclusion. Yes, I will be a voice for justice. And yes, I will be change. So even when it seems like we're standing by ourselves, because it can appear that way, right? Like we are just being here alone. We're not. If there's no other team that you can recognize or that you can really see, I want you to see the team of humanity. See that team. If you can't see any other team, see that team. Right? Because that's a team that makes a difference. The team of humanity. We as humanity went through pain and struggle in 2020. It didn't care about our packaging. It didn't care about our background. It didn't care about the nation we lived in. It was agnostic. It hit humanity. So I always come back to say, look, it's at a human level. Every framework we do in the workplace, every process we come up with, every solution takes the viewpoint of having to look at humanity. Let me take it and make it just even a little bit rawer than that. Who writes the checks? Who spends the money for your products? Humans. They shell out the money. They're the ones who do it. So if we don't recognize humanity, we're living in a very delusional state. Not good for us. We've got to wake up and see that. So please tweet it. Our humanity is beautiful. Tweet it, tweet it, tweet it, tweet it. Our humanity is beautiful. Because our humanity is beautiful, we keep looking to make connections. And why do I want to make a connection? I want to make a connection because if I don't make a connection with you, I really can't collaborate. So we talk about collaboration. We talk about it being necessary. We talk about making sure that we have collaboration over contracts because we're good at making contracts. I'm going to get this if I give you this, and you're going to give me this if I give you this. Yes, we're very transactional, but transactions don't breed innovation. And innovation keeps our world going. It keeps us finding the next best thing. It keeps giving us new dreams, new concepts to look at. It's so vitally important. But if I really want to team with you, I've got to find a place at which I can connect with you. I've got to be willing to make those connections, even when you're a stranger. And hey, I've been pushing myself on that lately because being the introvert that I am, right? I've got to push myself to make the connection. But once I made the connection, that's where the value was. The value was in the connection and seeing the value, making the value my focus allows me to push past where I may have my fears. So let's wrap that. If we can enable each other to create a focus that is driving value, that where we can see the value, we can look at the value, we can see this value, right? Then if we can all create a focus frame that's filled with value, then we can find the courage we need to get past every fear that's in the middle of it. And going back to this wonderful phrase, because hope and fear can't occupy the same space. So if I can invoking my choice, and then with my choice, I can find my focus. And once I have my focus, and the only reason I found that focus is because I've discovered the value. So now my value has been wrapped in focus. I'm fearful, but I take courage. Once I take courage, hope shows up and goes, I got you on this one. We're okay. Don't worry. I'll take you the rest of the way. And hope keeps us going on this journey called life. This journey, and on this journey of your life, you have got business that you're going to deal with. You've got your career you're going to be dealing with. You've got relationships you're going to be dealing with. You've got your health you're going to be dealing with. There are these facets that are surrounding our everyday life. But the key to be able to do the journey of life well, the key to be able to do business well, the key to be able to do relationships well, is to always give yourself a focus that's wrapped around the value so that your hope can come into play and keep you going when the motivation has gone. Because motivation is like a drug, people. It's like a shot. Okay, you can have motivation and you kind of shoot up with some motivation. Yes, I know I can do this. I'm gonna do it. Yes, I am. 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 And then you kind of just like, God, right? But if you can allow yourself to have hope inspire you, inspiration is not like motivation, because inspiration seeds and it takes root. So it goes in and it goes deeper and it goes deeper and it goes deeper and it goes deeper and it goes deeper. And as it goes deeper, it clears space for dreams. It clears space for the new. It clears space for personal evolution. And it brings with it hope. So I encourage you guys today to allow yourselves the space to hope. When you feel like you can't hope anymore, pop this frame in front of you. Look at what this country has gone through and look where we are today. Hey, I got a woman who's packaged like me. She got brown skin too, but she's going to be sitting and driving some serious change for this country and the world. What does that mean? What does that symbol offer us? What does that? It's like a trophy in our mind that we can pull back on, guys. When we as women don't feel like we can, when we as brown women think like, no, there's no space for us, we can look at the trophy cabinet of hope. All the things that hope has proven to us. No, don't stop. Don't give up now. Remember, this never seemed like it was possible. 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 But look at where we are today. Now, come on, let me take you the rest of the way. And hope can be there as a crutch, right? When we feel that limp coming in play. So I encourage you and your teams to take on this thought. Today, I choose that as an act of my will to not only feed myself thoughts of positive images, not just positive words, but today I choose as an act of my will to feed my thoughts, my positive images, my words and my intentions for myself and others with hope. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to add hope to the toolkit. We're going to add hope to the toolkit in every moment that comes. So every time you got a moment where you're like, you're about to just, that throw the laptop moment that you feel. Every time that throw the laptop moment comes, you're going to go, no, hold on. The power of this moment that's being offered to me is a reset. I can reframe this moment with hope. So I encourage each one of you today, reframe each moment with hope. Use hope with your teams. Use hope with yourself. Use hope with your finances. Use hope with your health. Use hope to be your crutch when everything else that you've had isn't working for you, right? Try hope. Allow it to magnify and remind you of what your focus is, of where it is you're aiming to go in life, of what it is you're aiming to achieve. Let it keep you focused. So you know, I don't feel like I can. Okay, let me look at the World Hope Trophy cabinet. Let me just look at that. Okay, I can do this. Yes, I can. Then comes back in with your affirming affirmations, right? Yes, I am. Yes, I can. Yes, I will. Now you got some of that juice going. But you definitely want to make sure, guys, you keep yourself some affirmations on hope. And today I'm going to be offering those in the room. When I go into the room today on Clubhouse, we're going to be dealing with some affirmations about hope because I want to make sure people have got them so that they can start utilizing it. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for joining me this morning. Thank you for taking your time out on this pivotal day to come here in this room with me so we can set our day. We can frame it our way with a focus of value. And the focus that I'm offering up is that our humanity is beautiful. And because our humanity is beautiful, we got to keep doing this thing called life. Because our humanity is beautiful, we got to keep innovating. Okay, we got to keep innovating. We got to keep making this thing do what it does so that we can have a great life, not just for our today, but a great life always for our tomorrow. I want to offer you, please allow yourself to be curious, right? Say today, I choose as an act of my will to activate my curiosity and open myself to be inspired. Open myself to be inspired by hope? Yes, I will. And I'm grateful today that I can be inspired by hope. Even when I feel like I can't, hope shows me that I can. Guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy it. I look forward to hearing from you and hearing the great things that are going to happen. You guys can follow me on social media at Your Agile Lady on all social platforms. That's where you'll find me. On LinkedIn, you'll find me at Your Agile Lady. So you can follow me. You can join with me, see what I'm doing. I want to take a moment and I want to make sure that I plug what we're doing this Thursday, myself and my great colleague, Trisha Broderick. We are going to be doing another episode of Let's Continue the Conversations. You know our conversation is going to be great this Thursday because we're going to have a lot to talk about. And you know you're going to want to see Trisha's face, okay, when she makes those faces on some of those comments that she's got. So join us on LinkedIn Live, 1 o'clock on Thursday, where we continue the conversation. Right? We decided 2021 we were going to keep this thing going. So join us, follow me on my page so you can see all those details. And again, thank you all for being here. Have you a wonderful, wonderful day. And don't forget, guys, this thing we're doing, this thing called the journey of life, we're doing it together. You ain't doing it alone. My apologies.